Hello, I'm Maricela Kelaton with the news. In this edition, hope for kidney patients, students selected on merit, and Vipers Academy win finals. A traffic accident along Medan's North Coast Road on Saturday morning resulted in the loss of one life. According to police, 3 others are fighting for theirs at the Modilon General Hospital. According to the police report, the driver and the passengers of the vehicle were allegedly under the influence of liquor while traveling. Their vehicle veered off the road and crashed. Bystanders reported the accident to police and also assisted in bringing the wounded passengers and the deceased to the hospital. Assistant Commissioner of Police Northern Region, Peter Guinness, said the vehicle belonged to AMRI Transport, a local company in Medan. He said police officers who were at the scene of the accident reported that they found beer cans inside the vehicle. ACP Guinness said drivers continue to be ignorant of traffic rules and such incidents are a result of that. He added that the ignorance of the driver in this accident has now cost 1 life, leaving 3 others in critical condition. Port Moresby General Hospital Kidney Dialysis Center is progressing with 8 machines purchased and awaiting engineers for installation, as well as upskilling the human resource to provide the services. Hospital CEO Dr. Paki Malumi revealed this during the World Kidney Day observance at the PNG Kidney Foundation based at the Kennedy Estate, NCD, on Friday, 4th of March.
COVID-19 restrictions have delayed the arrival of engineers from overseas to set up the kidney dialysis equipment at Port Moresby General Hospital. However, hospital CEO Dr. Paki Malumi said the partnership with the National Fisheries Authority will ensure the equipment is up and working as soon as possible.
Kidney is a very important organ in our body, and as we move towards changing our lifestyle, eating different processed food, lack of exercise, diabetes, that will affect the kidney. So as Papua New Guineans are going into that kind of lifestyle, a modern lifestyle, the lifestyle diseases are increasing, and kidney is one of them.
Dr. Malumi said they have to start building up the facilities and train the appropriate human resource so that they can be able to manage increasing lifestyle diseases, especially in the kidney. Under the government policy through the National Health Plan, PMGH will be at level 6. It will be the specialist referral and research hospital for the country.
That means the kind of services that you go to Singapore and you go to Philippines or you go overseas to receive. So we will be providing those kind of services at Port Moresby General Hospital. We've already started with cardiac, providing the interventional cardiology procedures like the cath lab. Now we are going into stroke reversals, and of course stenting all the other organs as well, including kidney.
PMGH, in partnership with the PNG Kidney Foundation, had trained a kidney specialist in Dr. Stephen Bogosia, who was trained in Malaysia as a qualified nephrologist.
So it's traveling around the country, assisting in setting up in facilitating the MOUs that signed with the Kidney Foundation, with Medi Hospital. Dr. Birisi is here, the CEO of Southern Islands PHA. So they're setting up a kidney dialysis center there. Of course, St. Martin has recently announced the East New Britain. Yes, East New Britain, okay.
Frida Kana, TV1 News.
10 years ago, getting cured of a kidney disease was impossible because there was no treatment facilities in country and it was very expensive to get treated overseas. But with the help of the PNG Kidney Foundation, there is hope for patients in PNG. Dr. Stephen Bogosia, the kidney specialist, made these remarks during a media conference held on Friday, 4th March, in observance of World Kidney Day, which falls on the 10th of March.
Kidney treatment specialist Dr. Stephen Bogosia highlighted that 10 years ago, Kidney treatment or hemodialysis was very expensive, and many patients were sent home with no hope. Now 10 years looking back, he wished it was like that back then. But with the dedicated partnership of Sir Martin Poe, the chairman of Kidney Foundation, treatment in country is now possible.
If we have 400,000 kina, then you can go abroad. If no, then this is the end of the road. Literally, that's what we told them. Sometimes it wasn't pleasant. You will see the tears in the eyes of the patients because that's it. Where do I go from here if I don't have 400,000 kina?
Dr. Bogosia thanks Sir Martin for his vision and support in providing hemodialysis services in the country.
From the old center at Pomgen, we used to be under Ward 7. Now we've moved up to Kennedy after we built this facility. Thanks to donors. If the donors out there, thank you for your funds. It's been put to good use. We've also bought the machines, brought them along, and it's so far been helping our people.
While explaining the theme of the World Kidney Day, Kidney Health for All, Dr. Bogosia said this means that it covers all the aspects of kidney health.
So when you really look at it, there are two areas that the World Kidney Day theme really addresses this year. Number one, it looks at what we've been doing all along, like the Kidney Foundation, and sometimes I've probably talked at Ella Beach, sometimes I've talked on media about it. It's about prevention. Now, we try to encourage a lot of patients about the risk factors in terms of what can cause you to, develop a bad kidney. And if you develop a bad kidney, then in actual fact, there is no medication after that. You will really need hemodialysis and transplant.
Dr. Bogosia said, though many times emphasis is put on the curative side of things, prevention message is also equally important. He encouraged people, especially those working and living in urban centers, to live healthy lives by eating less processed foods and doing more exercise. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
A second suspect involved in the alleged robbing and murder of Wen Yanxing in Medan has surrendered to police. Assistant Commissioner of Police Northern Region Peter Guinness said 23-year-old Renard Kunandi from Engaram East Sepik Province surrendered to police in Leh, Morbe Province on Thursday, March 3rd. He was then transported to Medan to be questioned. Kunandi is one of 5 suspects alleged to have robbed Wen's Good Life supermarket in Medan, of which Wang was store manager. Wang was shot and wounded and later died at the Modilon General Hospital. The crime occurred on the evening of Thursday, February 24, 2022. ACP Guinness said investigation is progressing well, with Max Woos, the first suspect, who also surrendered to police recently. The 2 suspects are being detained at Jumba Police Station. ACP Guinness has called on the others involved to surrender to police. Their relatives are also being encouraged to give them up. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The University of Papua New Guinea's School of Humanities and Social Sciences will no longer be offering double major programs. The school's executive dean, Professor Leo Marai, at the presentation of the school's 4-year strategic operational plan to the UPNG Council recently, said there are no bylaws governing the school's current double major programs. Executive Dean for UPNG School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Professor Leo Marai, said the students currently completing double major programs this year will be the last for the school until bylaws are established to govern such programs. He also said the school would be creating double degree programs across other schools within the university.
When the thing came into place, the double degree, there was no bylaws to set a platform. So I put a stop to it, and we're going to review it. The last lot are completing this year, so I allowed it because they. So we're going to go through the process again to see if we can put bylaws in place to govern that program.
Furthermore, Professor Marai addressed the issue of program alignment within the school to current real-world relevance highlighted by DHEST Acting Secretary Dr. Francis Hualup Momi. Dr. Hualuk Momi, who was part of the university's first audit, said on reading the report many of the programs offered by UPNG need to be relooked at. He stated further that the programs must be aligned with current demand, as many are outdated.
So you need to look at and reconsider reviewing some of the programs so that it is demand-driven. It's very important. We cannot continue to offer programs that are of 1980s, 1990s. The world has changed. The programs in social sciences, arts have changed.
The school's executive dean said this exercise will involve all academic staff with additional support from relevant external partners, including DHEST. The aim is to have new and improved courses under the programs within the school by 2024. University of Papua New Guinea Vice-Chancellor Professor Frank Griffin has expressed confidence in the selection process and administration of students into the university this year. Professor Frank Griffin described selections as strict and controlled. University of Papua New Guinea Vice-Chancellor Professor Frank Griffin is adamant there is no corruption in the selection process of students in this academic year.
Everybody who has been admitted to any of our programs, including the School of Law, the selections have been done on merit. So all the students whose names appear in the papers and have been enrolled and registered in the University of Papua New Guinea, every one of them have been enrolled and registered on merit. So there is no corruption.
He said for this year, over 5,000 students have been accepted to study at the university. However, that number may vary in registration due to difficulties faced by students caused by the Department of Education when dispatching funds for tickets. The consequence of which has resulted in registration being extended until Friday, 4th March. However, students would still need to pay a late registration penalty fee. Furthermore, the Vice-Chancellor said the government under the Public Investment Program has delivered 10 million kina that will be focused on 3 areas of development for the university.
So one of them is improving the science 1, 2 and 3 buildings. There is a second component which is to improve the Motokore Island Research Facility. And the third one is on rehabilitating some of our houses, our staff housing.
The upgraded BSP Pal-Mal-Mal hybrid branch in the Pomio district of East New Britain province was opened on Friday, March 4th. BSP Financial Group Limited established a sub-branch in Pal-Mal-Mal in 2012 to service an estimated 100,000 people then in the Pomio district who would otherwise have to travel to Kokopo and Rabaul by air or sea to access banking services. The new branch is a larger modern building with more staff to serve customers. The sub-branch provides only a limited service due primarily to unreliable telecommunication infrastructure. These services include account opening, deposit and withdrawal services. BSP Group CEO Robin Fleming was present at the opening. He said a similar upgrade is in progress for the Telephoming sub-branch. And that ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay tuned. Welcome back. A defensive NCDC Port Moresby Vipers Academy outfit held out a late surge from the fast-finishing Moresby South Blacks to take out the inaugural NGCB Southern Super League Grand Final Cup 16-12 at full time. The big showdown was a thriller and played at the Moresby South Stadium, Calgary on Saturday.
Winning the inaugural Southern Super League Premiership title was the icing on the cake for rookie coach Godfrey Luke and his Young Vipers Academy outfit with an undefeated track record for the entire season. It culminated in Saturday's big grand final win, creating a piece of history for themselves. From the outset, the big matchup kicked off on a flyer, with both forward packs looking keen to get into the grind nice and early. And then tempers started flaring due to ill discipline. Vipers were heavily caned in that penalty department, mainly for continuous ruck infringements and a number of dangerous high shots. 2 of their players were marched to the bin on 2 separate occasions by match referee. Ironically, Vipers were first to open their ledger with a try to lanky back rower Jimmy Gisua to push them ahead to 6-0. The pace and intensity of the game continued until Blacks were rewarded a relieving penalty right in front of the Vipers' goal mouth, which they successfully converted to trail 6-2. In the ensuing play, Blacks launched another attacking raid into the Vipers' half that allowed informed fullback Junior Oki to cross the white line for the equalizer at 6-all. Vipers were presented with another opportunity. This time, Rayo Rexo scooted out of dummy half to regain the lead at 12-6 until halftime. After the break, intensity of the game continued with both teams showing their flair and class on the edges but let themselves down due to lack of patience and taking poor options. Blacks, with momentum back on their side, were able to kick another penalty followed by a try to draw level again at 12-all. With under 10 minutes to go, Vipers, back on counter-attack, were able to build pressure, which eventually paid off for Little General Joel Genna scoring on the right-hand corner to seal the deal in Vipers' favor, 16-12.
I'm very pleased with the boys. It's a great bunch of boys in the development squad. And I really like to emphasize on all the diesel cup teams in the country to have a development program like what Vipers is doing.
Vipers Academy walked away with the cup and a whooping major cash prize of 60,000 kina. The runners-up Mosby South Blacks picked up 20,000 kina for their troubles. Man of the match went to Vipers fullback TP Tape. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Theo Boas, the youngest sibling of the Boas brothers, Ase and Watson, is quickly making an impression in the rugby league arena. Young Theo was one of the standouts for NCDC Port Moresby Vipers Academy side that defeated Moresby South's Blacks in the inaugural Southern Super League Grand Final.
While elder brothers Ase and Watson have accomplished so much in their respective colorful careers, youngest sibling Theo Boas could potentially be the next biggest rugby league prospect on the market. Theo, a late inclusion into the Vipers Academy Grand Final winning side after arriving from Kokopo last month. He raised a lot of eyebrows with his energy, skill, agility and speed, a carbon copy of Ase and Watson.
Stop lo place kami play union go sama world coach look at me so singaw timi logo training on them also me go training on them all me just play lo semi-finals all na now grand final me play so me give mo the best do me lo now na last week game.
When asked about emulating his brothers, Theo said slowly but surely.
Oh yeah, me ase all come family come me feel excited strength na bamigo yet.
Born and raised at Baliora Police Barracks, Kokopo, East New Britain, Theo is the youngest of 4 boys, all whom follow in the footsteps of their father, Boaz Binwali, a former Royals Club legend in Rabaul. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Central Dabaris Agaraben Nines tournament ended successfully on Thursday with the grand final at the Sir John Guy's Stadium. 44 men's teams and school teams took part in this annual tournament, played over 3 days.
A record 44 open men's teams from the Central Province converged in the nation's capital last week for the inaugural Agaraben Nines tournament sponsored by Scale Rice. The round-robin games were staged at the Baba Rugby Park on Monday and Tuesday, while the quarter-finals and the grand finals for the bowl, plate and cup were hosted at the Sir John Guy Stadium on Thursday. Central Dabaris Executive Director Hubert Warupi, while overseeing the 3-day event unfold, was quite impressed with the smooth running of the whole tournament, but more so the best behaviors and attitudes of teams. Teams came from as far as Goilala district and others from villages stretching across the coastlines of the Central Province to show their talent.
On the whole, very, very happy with how the tournament has turned out. The number of teams that have come in from right across the province. We've had a very good display of rugby league action, the type of colourful rugby that our Central Province is renowned for playing. So we've had a very good tournament so far.
Warupi also noted the typical central flair of free-flowing rugby league style over the course of the 3 days, which was entertaining to watch.
There's a lot of talent. You can just tell by the way the boys are playing, we're not big, physically big, but where we make up for that lack in size, we show it in the way that the boys are running. So I think if you see that if we can have a talented backline from the way the boys are playing, definitely we'll see a bit of flair. And this is what it's about. It's about showing off that flair in true Central Province style.
Warupi assured rugby league fans to expect more of the flair in the Central Dubaris attack this season. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the news tonight. Remember to apply the following simple measures to prevent transmission of the coronavirus. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water. Cough or sneeze into your elbow and exercise social distancing. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. You can also call the COVID-19 hotline number for more information or assistance. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.